In this video, you're going to learn how to set up a Shopify store from scratch. What's up everybody, it's Adrian Brambila here, and you're watching one video in a series of 30 on how to make money online for beginners. Now, if you're watching this video out of order, make sure you go to adrianbrambila.com/30 days, because if you're at this point, ready to build a Shopify store, that means you already know about product research, you already know about lead generation, and you already know why you want to use Shopify in the first place, because Shopify is the best platform to sell stuff online. Shopify is by far my favorite CMS, which stands for Content Management System. This is a place that you can sell stuff online, you can build emails, you can actually create pages and blogs. Yes, Shopify is actually a great blogging platform. But right away I'll tell you, if you're balling on a budget, Shopify is probably your most expensive blogging platform. So if you're thinking about where do I build my website for my brand, whether you're a service-based business or whether you're just a blogger starting out or a mommy blogger, Shopify is a great place because it takes care of all the tech. Pretty much much smarter people than I am have created all the technology of how to make a website look great, how to make it fast, how to include all the fancy apps that make people engage with it more. They've done all that. All we have to do on the end user of Shopify is basically pick the right apps, put in the right images, drag and drop the displays, and bam, you have a beautiful website. But Shopify isn't for everyone. If you're someone who is balling on a budget, Shopify is going to be pretty steep of a website just to host your blog, because it runs at a minimum $29 a month. And when you're not making any money, I remember I've been there, and I couldn't imagine a website that would cost me $29 a month in which I realistically didn't have an expectation to make even $29 a month for 6 months. If that someone describes you, sure, maybe you can still watch this video and learn something. Otherwise, WordPress might be a better platform for you. But if you're someone who's maybe doing a side hustle like dropshipping, or maybe someone who's creating their own e-commerce store, or someone who has, some money and wants to just automate the crap out of their blog, never have to worry about updates and plugins that WordPress sometimes has, then Shopify may be for you. I even mentioned if you have an inkling of an idea that maybe in the future, 6 months or a year from now, you may actually sell something, to actually migrate your website from WordPress to Shopify is a headache, and maybe at the beginning you should actually just start on Shopify. I just wanted to mention those few things because this next part of the tutorial gets in the weeds. We're actually going to open up Shopify from scratch and build a website from scratch. So if you're ready to learn about Shopify, let's do it. To get started to create a Shopify store, click the link in the description, or if you are getting the emails, I also provide the link, which is going to take you to a page like this that has a 14-day free trial. Sometimes my link will actually provide a longer trial, like a 30-day or even 60-day. Put in an email and hit Start Free Trial. You'll have a few steps that will just fill out a little bit of your personal information, and then you should go to a page that looks like this. I created a Shopify store called Fur Crib. I did make sure that the domain was available before I started. Fur Crib is my idea in my head that I'm going to create basically a pet niche store. And at the time of this recording, this store is empty, but maybe in 2021 or later, I will actually turn this into an affiliate brand or even a dropshipping store. What I love about Shopify is that everything is very simple, and especially if you sell e-commerce, it's so easy. But even if you don't, I actually use it for blogging. I do understand it may be an expensive solution, which is why I've also talked about using WordPress in this course. But what I love about Shopify is that it takes care of mostly all of the technical parts of building a website. And I'm just going to quickly walk you through the navigation if this is your very first time looking at a content management system like Shopify. So if you have orders, they would eventually come in here. But for sake of this course, we're not really drop shipping. This is just building this website, and we're using it for a blog or a brand or affiliate marketing, or you may end up doing e-commerce on here. If you were going to sell your own products, this is exactly where you would create them or add them. I'll just create a demo product for you right now. Let me just say pet ebook, and you would just put a description of the ebook. I'm going to put pet ebook. Actually, let me make this sexy. I'm going to say 21 ways to make your dog happier ebook. Maybe I'll make this, who knows. And then this would be a description about the ebook. You could put sentences or images or videos here. And then this is where you would actually add the picture. Oops, I don't want to show that. And this is where you would click and then add a photo of the product. Let me just quickly find a dog photo here that I'm going to add. And don't do this. Don't tell this person that I'm using them for sake of example. I'm going to delete this right away, but let me just paste that into my product just so you can see what it looks like. And the product is now uploaded with an image. Perfect. And I'll just put $27 for my price. Let's say that's discount from $50. You can pretty much say if you want to do taxes, physical product, if it's going to be shipped out. Shopify lets you put all this information. It's an amazing e-commerce platform. Might as well just put a little description here. Learn how to make your dog happier by playing the best games with them. Yay! Okay, click save. And then all you got to do is move it to active, and you would have just launched a product on your store. Now, we didn't go through any of the branding of the website, but I just want to show you how simple that is. A couple minutes, and voila, I have my very first product on my store that I stole an image. So that's how simple it is. If you've never used this before, it really is just about going through the motion once. So I imagine I have to just show you once, and then you know how it works. And it's really that simple. For your website, once you start getting customers, they show up here. And this is your analytics of your website. People that show up. If you are selling something, it can show your conversion rate. This is probably just all me here, but how many people showed up to the website. And then marketing is going to be like email campaigns that you can set up if people like abandoned cart. Create discounts with discount codes here. One of my favorite parts about Shopify is the apps. These are basically tools that you can add onto your website that help your store get better, whether it's through marketing, which this one's a really good one. If you sell e-commerce, it's like adding an upsell. Whether it's helping sell, so it looks like you can create videos on your product pages. That's always amazing. And then there's just so many tools. If you do want to sell on Shopify, there's a lot of free apps that you can get. Just go to the App Store and type in whatever you're looking for. Email marketing, retargeting, so many different apps pop up. So that's a main rundown of the top menu. And then now we're going to go into actually building our store. So click on Online Store, and you'll get a few different options. The first is the theme. The themes portion of Shopify is basically where I start into how to build a website. For me, I feel like I got to really narrow down and conquer the homepage before I go into creating other pages on my website. So I did take the liberty of writing in some information, but I'm going to quickly walk through everything right now. First, I want to show you that Shopify comes with free themes. You don't have to pay for any themes or development or hire a programmer. It's pretty amazing. You just want to go to your themes right here. You'll click Explore Free Themes, and you can see the options that Shopify gives you. So all these options are great. You don't need to pay for a theme to make money or to have success. I have a blog that runs off of narrative, and I have an e-commerce store that uses Venture, and both of them are 6-figure incomes. So you can use the free theme, and they work great. So let's go to the theme that I've selected, which is the debut theme. I'll show you right here what it looks like empty. Right here. And the debut theme, I thought, is just a really good general blog. You can add a lot of visual elements, make it your own style, and I think it applies to pretty much any niche. So let's see what I've customized to my theme. I went through and added basically the home page information, and it did not take me that long, and I feel like this looks pretty good for basically 60 minutes of work. The information here to change is pretty much all on the left. So for example, if I wanted to change my image right here on this first section, I just click remove and that removes. And then if I select an image, these are the images kind of I've found and uploaded. Or I can do free images, and that's kind of where I found these images. So I'm just going to type in the word dog here. And all these different images are going to pop up. And yes, they're free. Isn't that amazing? Let me put dog owner. Does this look like a dog owner? This looks good. I love pugs. I think I'm gonna change it to pugs. Now it doesn't really fit the sizing, which is unfortunate. Let's go here. This is what you're watching me do right now is exactly what I do to build a website. And you can make it beautiful. You don't have to code. You don't even have to take your own images now. Shopify literally can take care of all that for you. I'm just curious, if I typed in pug life, what would happen? Pug life. I'm gonna leave it right here. That's a cute image. Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi pug. So it's so easy. Headline. Welcome to Fur Crib. That's where I typed it in. Fur Crib, where humans and animals thrive together. That's a pretty good one. I only had one glass of wine. I came up with that. Pretty solid. My little tagline. So I scroll down, and that's this next part here. So just to show you how simple this is, just drag it, moves. It's so easy. I'm not a programmer. I don't know how to program, so stuff like this is super simple. This is so easy, easier compared to WordPress by a long shot. The only con I would say to Shopify is that it does cost $29 a month. That's expensive for a blog, definitely. So just keep that in mind. So you know, I think the point of a homepage of a website is to, one, let the person who lands on here know that it's a real legit thing. And so you want to make sure there's no spelling errors, that it tells a story. It gets, someone lands in here and they understand what your website is about. And then there should be a call to action. In my draft website, there's no call to action. So that is maybe one thing that I'm missing. So if I wanted to have a call to action, I would pretty much change my description. Maybe I would add a section here with you guys live. Maybe I would add a section like this, and then I would say it's perfect. So let's say my website actually is not income. To have a perfect homepage, I think I conquered the first step. It looks nice. People understand what this website's about. It's about humans and animals, telling stories, pet owners. It's definitely a pet-friendly website. I think it looks the part, but it's missing a call to action, so let's add that now. So I'm going to go to Add Section. I'm going to go to Rich Text. Click Select. And then I'm going to say a call to action would be, let's see, I'm making this up. I don't have this as an actual call to action yet because this website's not public. But I would say, learn our 21 tips to make a dog happier. Get our new guide to make our dog
to make your dog have amazing life. That's really bad. I need to work on that. But anyways, what I would do is I would link it here, and I would pick a product. I deleted my product, so there's really no product, but link it, and then I would have a call to action, and that would count. Let me try to make another one that's more prominent here. I could do a newsletter. That's always a great one. So this would be my opt-in. We learned in this course how important an opt-in is. So I would say, join our weekly dog tips and stories. Or if I had like offers, get fine. Alright, I just spent a couple minutes trying to make this a little sexier. 21 steps to make your dog live a happy life. Get our free guide to a happier dog life. And then someone would put their email and hit the subscribe button. That's all it would take to get this rocking. I think that's pretty much good enough. So I would now move this up below the header. I'll delete my other one that I've created here, since that really didn't show the link very good. But now we have the homepage banner and a call to action underneath, 21 steps to make your dog live a happy life. And this is now covering pretty much all the basis of what I would say is mandatory for a website. You have to have a website that looks the part, and now we've covered that. We created our homepage, and then this is my bare bones standard for a website. You need to have a blog. You need to have a story page and a contact us, because that's just things that a legit website looks. So on the blog page, Shopify allows you to create blogs pretty easily. I'll show you how. And I pretty much just copied and pasted a different product review of a dog bed, which is right there. Our story, so I did take the time to write a very small paragraph here. Fur Crib, a habitat where pets and humans thrive together. This is actually not a good example in the sense of how short it is. Typically you want to actually tell a story. You can actually go to furcrib.com, and if you want to click around and see all the pages, for example, then you have a contact us page. So let's back up and take a look at our pages of where you can create stuff. So blog post is right where we create our blog post. So I just copy and pasted a bunch of different blog articles. This is where you'd want to create your own. Right here, you can insert an image pretty easily by clicking that button. And then you insert the image. You put text. You can bold information, add numbers, italicize. Pretty much all the different buttons in here you can add here. I always think it's important you always add a featured image, because that's if someone shares the article, that's how it would pop up in social media. And then lastly, you got your SEO. If you've never heard that, that stands for search engine optimization. It is how a blog ranks online. And right here is super important to kind of just fill this out. I actually did not. There's automatically, it'll just take the content that's from the blog article. But once you publish it, and it pops up. And then all I did was I created a navigation that includes pretty much all the blogs. But this is it. Beautiful. Shopify, I bet you never thought the e-commerce platform could make as a good blog platform, but it does. And then now this next page on my navigation is the Our Story, and you create that in the Pages section. So we go to Pages, and you hit create new page, you just put in, that's all I did was put in text. Again, my SEO is really not that good, but you want to always fill this out, optimize it, which we don't cover in this course because that is a little nerdy. But a couple Google searches on what is SEO and you'll be right as rain. When you create a contact us page, all you have to do is switch right here in the template suffix to page contact, and that will actually create the form underneath the copy. So after you create your blog, your story page, a contact us, that pretty much covers what I would say the bare bones of a website. You need a website for pretty much all the side hustles that I am teaching in this course. And even if you want to get started in affiliate marketing, for example, you can't just apply to these businesses and get accepted. They're going to ask you if you have a website. They're going to go on your website and they're going to read this stuff. They're going to read your story. So if you half-ass it, like I have here, they're going to know, and they're not going to take you seriously. So it is important to actually take the time to really write information. You know, a website that I basically took the time because I'm an affiliate, personal brand affiliate for a ton of stuff, is my own website, Adrian Brambila. Feel free to click around, click the My Story. Feel free to go to my blogs, which I've labeled here as free lessons. You can see I really take the time to write everything out. I take it seriously. But use that as an example. Another website that I love, it's actually not on Shopify. It's going to be on WordPress. But Marie Forleo, I'm a huge fan of. Got to meet her last year in New York and was on her show. I think she is one of the best personal brands out there. And if you don't want to create a personal brand, that's okay. There's amazing blogs that are not personal brands. But Shopify is a awesome website that I use and can pretty much cover it all. A couple last things for the technical side of stuff. To create a navigations, again, super easy like everything. You click on navigation, menu items, you simply add an item here, you label it, and then you add the link. So you can just check out like the Our Story. I labeled it Our Story, and then I connected the page that I called Our Story, clicked apply, and voila, you have a navigation. Lastly, you have the domain part, and Shopify makes connecting a domain literally the easiest thing in the world. You just click this button, connect domain, you type in the domain, and it's actually going to be able to know if your domain's at GoDaddy or wherever else, and it's all automatic. So brilliant. I remember when I first created a website, like connecting the domain took me like weeks probably. It was so hard to do. WordPress makes it such a pain, but Shopify is pretty much all automated. Lastly is the preferences of your website. You'll add like the homepage title of what your website is, some SEO descriptions, you add your Google Analytics code here, Facebook pixel. Shopify pretty much does it all. It's one of my favorite content management systems. I actually moved all my blogs from WordPress to Shopify. Again, the only con I can think of for people starting out is that Shopify is expensive. WordPress is the cheap option. Shopify is $29 a month, and when you are not making any money and when you are starting out, $29 a month is a lot. Definitely, I remember if I had the option to create a website on Shopify, if I knew about it when I started out, when I was making $27,000 a year, I wouldn't have done it. I would have done the cheap option, which was WordPress. But then again, you are going to have to go through the painstaking process of learning WordPress, getting technical, learning a little bit of code, where Shopify, as you've seen, is pretty much plug and play.
Would you look at the time? That's it. Shopify is literally that fast. You can build a website in less than 30 minutes, have an amazing brand, and already be ready to accept money from selling products. How amazing. When I started 10 years ago, it took me weeks, maybe even months to create an e-commerce store. And as you've seen proven in this video, in less than 30 minutes, you can have a Shopify store ready to bring on your customers. What I would love to learn from you right now is no matter what your side hustle or business is, do you think you're going to use Shopify? Comment below and say, yes, I am going to use Shopify. In fact, thank you for this tutorial, Adrian. Or you can be like, dude, after watching this, I think Shopify is not for me. I'm going to go with WordPress, or Squarespace, which are pretty much my other alternatives if you don't want to use Shopify. I stand by Shopify. Shopify's made me a lot of money. Thank you, Shopify, if you're watching this video. And I recommend it as my top platform. Again, my only con is that it is expensive solution for a website. If you are starting out and have no money, or don't plan on monetizing right away, $29 a month can add up. You are almost done with the 30-day course of how to make money online for beginners. At the stage of now getting ready to build your brand and website is so exciting. I'm glad you've made it this far. And coming up next on top, after we figure out how to build the places where you'll be bringing customers, we got to learn how to bring the customers, which is some pretty advanced stuff like running ads. So stay with me as we get towards that. If you are watching this tutorial and you want to get the complimentary resources, make sure you go to adrianbrambila.com/30days. Otherwise, we'll catch you in the next lesson. Lastly, I'll note, if you have a Shopify store, post the link in the comments below. I'll check it out. This is Adrian. Peace. When I started my very first side hustle, I was working at a call center making $27,000 a year. If I could pinpoint how I got from then to now, it would definitely be by the power of habit. It's one of the hardest things to create, but once you have it, you feel unstoppable. To help you build it, I've created the Side Hustle Journal, which is a daily journal that will help hold you accountable to working on your side hustle and creating an amazing business and life that you love. Go to adrianbrambila.com/journal to check it out today.